So now I'd like to welcome our Minister for Children, Francis Fitzgerald, to say a few words and to launch our publication. A warm welcome for Minister Fitzgerald.
It's okay. Okay.
Yep.
Good evening, everyone. She tells it very well, doesn't she? Well done, That was a great description of the Roscommon childcare sector and the work that you're all doing, and also a very good agenda, I have to say, for me to follow in the months ahead. Very clearly articulated. Very well done, Irene. Good evening, and thank you for the invitation to be here. I'm delighted to come into this room and see such a wonderful celebration of the childcare sector. It's always great to be invited to an anniversary, and this 10th anniversary here is very special. I knew that I was coming along to say a few words and to launch a very fine publication, I have to say. I didn't know I was coming to a great concert as well. And very well done to the children and all of you who prepared them for the concert tonight. I see they've been allowed to head off, which I think is probably right. A late night for them. They've probably done a lot of preparation. We talk a lot about, listening to children and children's participation, but it's actually great to see it in action, and the lovely displays that they've done as well tonight. So thank you all of you who are involved in that. As I say, I'm delighted to be invited here to Roscommon to celebrate the sector, and I'm particularly delighted to be joined here by my very good Oireachtas colleagues, Deputy Frankie Feehan, Deputy Dennis Naughton and Senator Terry Layden. Terry and I soldiered in the Senate together over the last few years. I'm also delighted to see Major Eugene Murphy here with us, and the many councillors who are supporting this sector and this work by being here. Councillor John Cummins, Councillor Sean Byrne, Councillor Michael Creighton, Councillor Jimmy Kenny, Councillor Michael Mulligan and Councillor Paddy Kilduff. And I name the politicians who are here because I think it's extremely important to acknowledge the kind of support that they've given to the sector, and by their attendance here tonight are showing their commitment to a sector that for many years was really hidden. And as I watched what was happening here tonight, I thought of the many years when many childcare providers worked quietly and silently and with very little funding. And really, to see this celebration with so many people here, so many parents, so many providers, public and private, community, childminders, the partners in the process who are represented here at the top table tonight and amongst you. It really shows how far the sector has come, and it's great credit to everybody here for the Trojan work that you've all put in, and indeed to the government support and the European support that slowly but surely has flowed into the sector. And I really want to thank you all for the huge contribution that you have made to the development of this vibrant sector in Irish society. We've heard from the statistics that were so ably presented earlier just what the scale of this sector is in this county and how very important it is, both from the children's point of view, from the employment point of view, and just really in creating good citizens. One of the points I often make is that it is very important, of course, to have a Minister for Children and Youth Affairs at the Cabinet. That is a strong value statement about our 1.1 million children. Our children are a great resource, the best natural resource that this country has. And I was really delighted and interested last week to see the OECD report. Some of you might have spotted it was on competitiveness. And what did it say? It said that early childhood care, early childhood support, early childhood education and intervention made a country more competitive. Now, we don't often equate early intervention and good supports for children with our economy and with competitiveness. So it's very interesting for me to see that, and we shouldn't be afraid to say that and acknowledge it. And there are more and more studies emerging, and I go to more and more conferences where I hear about research that is highlighting the saving to the state by high quality early care for children. And it's not just, of course, an economic question, it's also about what it actually does for the child and for the child's family. We've known this for many years, and we have study after study to prove it, that high quality, not just any sort of childcare, but high quality childcare, like we're hearing about here tonight, really helps children develop their potential to go on to be the kind of adults we would all want them to be, to develop the various talents they have, to make sure that they engage with the education sector in the way that we would like. So to see what you're giving all of the children of Roscommon here tonight and to hear about it, and for me to have the honour of giving the many certificates that I gave out tonight, is really so encouraging because of what I've said, because of what it means to the children who have the exposure to the service, what it means for the parents who want to combine work and family life, or who are pursuing education or training, or just want to see their children having high quality experiences. And as I said, it is about high quality experience. It isn't about, as you've well illustrated in your presentation so far, it's not about any childcare service, it's about a high quality childcare service that has standards, good education for those working within it, high quality training, which is happening at the moment and which my department is pursuing. And congratulations to each and every one of you who received certificates tonight. I nearly kept one of them. It's very, very hard to get a certificate. You know, when we all look back at our lives, we're not presented with that many certificates. And as I say, I nearly kept one when you confused me with the balloons there. But well done to all of you. It was very interesting to see what you got the certificates for. A very wide range of training courses and expertise being developed by you over the last year in pursuit of those high standards. And again, congratulations for the effort and the work that you've put in very often in your own time outside of working hours. And you do work in a sector that's very demanding, where traditionally the pay has not been what it should have been, where it has been informal and unregulated. And you've brought the sector to a place now that we can all be very proud of. You should be very proud of the services you provide, the level of training and qualification and standards that you have brought this sector to, and you've done it here in Roscommon. So well done, and I think a round of applause for everyone who received the certificates tonight. One of the reasons I was invited here was to launch the new publication. I'm sure many of you have looked at it at this point. Our focus is early childhood care and education, and that clearly outlines the kind of contribution that I've been speaking about, which the Childcare community have done and the Childcare County Committee have done in support of and implementing government policies and developing these services. It recognises the wide range of work in the county. You know it better than I do. I don't have to go over all of it with you, but just to say that it does include the Parent and Toddler Initiative, the Childminding Initiative, the Community Childcare Subvention Programmes, and more recently the Child Care Education and Training Support and Early Childhood Care and Education programme. And I know that the County Childcare Committee worked very hard throughout 2009 and 2010 to keep preschool service providers informed and advised about the preschool year in the Early Childhood Care and Education programme, which has made such a major impact on the sector. And I want to thank you for that. It's worked out, and it is working out to be a great programme, a great opportunity for our young children. You spoke tonight about the need for a second year. I'd certainly give a commitment to maintaining that first year, which is so important. I know in these difficult economic times people are nervous about any service. They're wondering if it can survive such demanding and difficult economic decisions. But I certainly intend to ensure that that 1 year stays, but also I'd like to see it develop. I share your vision for the sector. I would like to see a second year for children with special needs. In fact, I'd like to see a second year for all our children. We are constrained by the economic situation, as you well know. People are realistic today, but as the economy grows, that is where the fruits and the resources of a good economy should certainly be put. We've a job to do, as you know. We've tough decisions to make as a government. Reform is very much part of what we're about. It has its demanding side, as we well know, but I do want to say to you that I would really like to see this sector be supported and developed in the kind of ways I've said to you. So I look forward to working with you in developing the sector, pursuing those high standards which you place so high on the agenda here, and supporting the workers, the frontline workers, who at the end of the day are giving our children the kind of quality care that they need and that they deserve. So congratulations to you all on the work that you've done. I'm delighted now to launch this very fine publication, which I think is a real tribute to the sector here. It's a tremendous resource for parents, for the sector, for everyone who cares about early childhood care in the area. It's very comprehensive, very helpful, gives a huge amount of information and detail. So very well done to everybody who was involved in the development of this very fine publication, and I'm sure it will be copied at a national level and in other areas who do not have such a publication at present. You really are leading the way, so very well done. Yeah. So it just remains for me to say once again thank you to the Childcare Committee, to all of you who have supported its work, to those of you who've been involved in the delivery and the development of frontline services, to the children here, and again to the many people who came up and received their awards tonight. And again, thank you for the very kind invitation to be here with you. It's been a real pleasure to be part of this very important celebration here in Roscommon tonight. Thank you.